Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to day 42, the 100K Bink or Bust Bankroll Challenge, where we are trying to run 2,500 up to 100K over the next 6 months. So far, it's been going pretty good, really. We are drastically ahead of schedule. We've been running pretty good for the last 5 or so days, 5, 6 days. So we've kind of run the bankroll up. I'm just going to quickly check what happened here. Big. King Queen checks to us twice. We're just going to go bet. Here with 2 pair against Master Leo, we're definitely going to be calling the full pot bet. That's a really bad river card, unfortunately. Now, it's interesting that he goes this small. Probably gonna have to call here. The times just has like Queen X with no heart. Guess we call. He's just such a small bet. I think he would go bigger. It's a good heart, and I don't think he bets a bad heart on the turn. But anyways, so we've hit our 8K bankroll. So we will be trying to move up to NL 200. One of the issues with that is that there's no tables running right now, unfortunately. So in order to get some NL 200 streams going, we're going to have to make some adjustments to our playing schedule. Streaming wise, I think we just bet the value here. I don't think he calls too often if we shove, if he has an ace. Or like not ever. Maybe a 4 though, if they're like targeting a 4 there, he'd call. But anyways, yeah, it's been going really good so far on the challenge. Like I said, our goal was to be 2 months in, which would be May 18th in hitting 8,000. So we are about 8-7 suited. I think it's just call. Flop press. So we have about 18, 19, 20. We have about 21 days before we even hit May 18th right now. So we're doing very well. We're very far ahead of schedule. He's checked me twice again, so I think I'm just going to have to complete that. Here he goes half pot. We're definitely have to call 1. I think if he continues blasting, given his 3 position through that position, he probably starts to check some overpairs here, but he does keep blasting. I've seen him play relatively straightforward in bigger pots, so I think most of the time here 7-8 suited could be a call. In GTO assumes he's betting garbage. I think most guys drastically underbarrel at NL 100, and they don't do it with very many bluffs and air balls and stuff, which starts to make hands like that fold, facing that much aggression. Ace deuce suited here. I think we'll just call this one. Ace 7 is cuspy, but is a fold. This morning's not been going great. Button versus small blind against this guy, kind of spewing a whole bunch. We ended up 5-bet shoving his queen, and he just had kings. Kind of just was like good timing for him. He kind of 3-bet, 4-bet, like spewed like 3 or 4 hands in a row. So not too much to be said there. Yeah, so I think we're probably down like 2 buy-ins right now this morning. Or whatever, buy-in and a half. Yesterday, he did play a little bit towards the end of the day as well. Mixed in some NL 200, which I'm actually going to a card broke even at, to be honest. Yeah, EV was just like crazy here too. Straight down. He went straight up. Like broke even, so won't be complaining about that. Just want to check. NL 2-1-2 yesterday. 60, 40, 60. We were up a bit. a buy-in or something. The queen four suited will let go. We do defend the fours here after calling in small blind. And we are going to squeeze here. And against this villain, I think fours are going to be a call again. And this board, we do a lot of checking in a position. Yeah. Okay, we're just going to fold for that shove. No action there. Again, because we do this 2x and check back, it's a lot. We want to do it with strong hands as well. I've actually noticed some villains are starting to call it pretty late. So we've even started expanding even a bit wider with that. Interesting. Okay, stream should be up and running now. Just get it muted over on my side. So yeah, everything is actually progressing pretty well for this bankroll challenge, and I think now that we've hit 8K, when we are playing NL 200, basically we're going to set stop loss for moving back down, which would be about 7K. So if we lose 5 buy-ins at NL 200 and the bankroll dips to 7, we'll move back down to NL 100. Excuse me. And we'll go from there. Maybe even a little bit less. Maybe even 7,200. Something like that. We'll dip back to 100, NL 100, and then regrind. So we played a little bit. Played against a few of the regs yesterday. Nothing super special. Other than a little bit more bluffing out of them, which is good to know. So Harry Berry here is obviously pretty aggressive, but he's raising like too many hands, so we can probably get a little bit trappy with him. Try to kind of lure him into spewing off into us. Might sit this table here soon. Ace-5 off, raised. I think the 7's probably just checked down here. It's going to be hard to get folds on this board. We do call here. And here, I think we'll just go big. I guess full pot. We will let that go for full pot. The bigger they go, the more we fold. I know it sounds pretty straightforward, but okay, we do get called by Tilting Knit 1980. I think we'll check the side here. If he checks back, we get a free card. If he bets, we can decide if we want to shove or call. So he does elect to go half pot, so we're getting decent odds to call. We could also just jam it here, which I think I'm kind of leaning towards. Yeah, I like jamming with so much equity here. Like calling kind of sucks because if the heart hits, we don't get paid. So we're kind of not getting direct odds. So I think we'd have just like check fold, or we should probably check rip it in. And I'm leaning more towards ripping it because I think a lot of his range is just going to be 10x that sometimes nittier players will fold like their weaker 10x. And we also have like a king of jack as well. It's a heart that we can hit. Dead and dead. not been a good morning for hitting anything today. But yeah, I think the only other option would be to like try to block that turn. I am going to value bet against this guy. And against Moose Knuckle on this board, I think we'll just go big one time, and then fold. Not now. Now we're just going to rip it with the flush draw and a shot. Hope he'll just fold like all of his jack X's and stuff. He's into the tank, so I doubt he has a king. He'd already called a king, so he probably has like 10s or a jack X or something like that. Maybe even a 6, who knows. But he does have a 6, we have tons of equity again. Probably shouldn't complain about how good I'm running though, considering how well I ran yesterday. 4. Yes, I know 200 yesterday. Yeah, so we just ran good at NL 200 basically yesterday. So it's fine. I used to always look at it like, oh, I'm owed to run good now, or I'm owed this, or I'm owed that. But the reality is that's not actually how it works. When you just run good, you know, you run good, and the difference in it's probably actually the difference in EV and your actual winnings, like you're not entitled to run good because you've been running bad. It's just over time, you know, 2 buy-ins, 3 buy-ins that you're down or up or whatever in EV just decreases to look like next to nothing. But just because you're running good today doesn't mean you're like due to run bad tomorrow, right? I think we definitely squeezed the ace jack suited here. Ace 10 off. Surprised he actually called the ISO with ace 10 off on the button, to be honest. Kind of turned into a shitty hand for calling that. Should be like 3 or 4, I would imagine. Oh, come on. I guess we check. It's actually probably a spot we're supposed to check shove a lot. We just don't have any fold equity. There's 2 backdoors, 2 overcards. Oh my goodness. This drives me nuts. Okay, let's check the set, and then the maniac somehow does not bet. Alright, we'll just value bet here on the river. Probably could have a weak ace some portion of the time. Maybe picked up a draw on the turn. We are going to use to 15 just to put him all in. Okay, very super small 3-bet. We're obviously calling under the gun here. Completely bricking. That's interesting. I'm going to show this to him. Just because I think he's kind of the egotistical player. That I think, you know, you show a couple bluffs to, you could actually get him to start spewing into you more. It doesn't make sense really. Like once the ace of clubs is actually probably the best card in the deck. Uh, I think for us. One of the best ones. Not that we really ever have. Like, yeah. All right, full jack. Let's try to focus in here. Yeah, these guys. Yeah, this guy. Oh, they're all gone. There's a couple guys who just killed the action at 1-2. Please call my family and Ray. And I think the reason is because they're sitting like 1-2, 2-5, 5-10, and some of them sitting like 25-50. So the Rex just won't play them, right? So they sit every table, and then the tables die out a little bit, but then they hold like 10 tables hostage at all of those stakes. It's not worth. None of the regs will table start because it's not worth playing them, and then none of the Rex will join because they just see this guy sitting. You know, who are trying to play NL 200. This guy's sitting NL like 2K. They're not going to sit him either, so it really kills the action. Which I think if GG's going to do something to try to keep the Rex in instead of doing all these stupid little time bank updates and keep bumping the rake and taking more money here and there to give these little tiny software promos and shit. They should try to address camping more than anything. Like table starting is one thing, but like when you have guys that sit, because like what you'll see in the morning when they've been playing is you'll see like 7 tables of 1-2 all with the same guy. Then you'll see like 4 tables of 2-5, a couple tables of 5-10, and then another 1 table of 10-20 or something that's sitting. And then nobody joins. Rex won't join, fails won't join, regulars won't join, right? I think on this, I think with our hand, we bet some portion of the time. That's like the best turn card in the deck for us. And they both check, so we're actually going to go big here and try to just push them off their weaker pairs and stuff. And we do take this line, obviously, with like ace jack, king jack, queens, kings, aces sometimes, stuff like that. Aces probably more than anything. Oh, excuse me. Threes are just a fold. But yeah, I think that's probably something that maybe it doesn't matter in the real world because there's enough regs willing to reg battle. But definitely in our pool, this specific site, I think is, that is something that should be addressed. I think if you're sitting like 1 table, it's fine. But like, you're only allowed to open 1 heads-up table. But if you've been sitting at a bunch of tables and they all die out, you can still keep all of them open. But I feel like that should probably be banned in some way. Just to be able to keep the tables like opening. Because if that was the case and you had a guy sitting at 4 tables, even if it was across a few stakes, I think the likelihood of Rex and stuff joining is still going to be pretty high. Because we used to have like 10 months ago, 12 months ago, whatever it was, you would check, like if you looked at the 1-2, there was always like 3 or 4 tables running like this, like the way the NL 100 tables are running right now. It was kind of like that with NL 200 as well. And then these couple guys showed up out of the blue after Ontario Poker being open for 2 years, and all of a sudden they're playing all of these tables at all of these weird times, which I think is awfully suspicious considering how easy it is to VPN into stuff, specifically on GG. But anyways, it's really killed like the 1-2 action and the 2-5 action in the mornings. Later in the day it gets better. There's only like sort of relatively specific times where the 1-2 games seem pretty good, and then outside of that they're just kind of overfilled with regs, which kind of has to, you know, push you into playing like mass tabling for leaderboard, because win rates are so low when like a table's full of regs, right? Like if you get a fish on your right, you're pretty much gonna win at 10 BBs per 100 minimum, if not more, because like fish will give away, you know, like basically they lose at 100 big blinds, 100 big blinds, or yeah, they basically lose 100 big blinds per 100 hands, right? Like it's basically every hour they're like expected essentially to lose a stack per hour. So if you're on the right, or on the left of them, and they're on your direct right, the likelihood of you being the one to collect those chips is significantly higher, right? So that'll just, you know, jump your win rate drastically. I can't believe this. You know, so that's why like people say like table selecting is so important, because if you can get the fish on your right, you're actually gonna have a massive win rate. Whereas if you're playing reg tables or the fish is like really far away from you, it becomes hard to get there. Well, deuce, that's a really good card for him. It's pretty much every card in the deck would give me 3 outs there. 3 more outs. So we need, oh, time ball. Jack 4 suited fold, ace 6 fold. Let's just see. Pocket queens. 9-8 off will defend. 6-7 off will defend. It's a pretty good flop. Guess we block bet. And we'll just go for some thin value with the 9 here. Check back 9s here. We are going to call 1, but we'll fold. Oh, I was going to say we'll fold to a river bet. Now I think we'll raise it. Value. I think that small bet is more like ace king, ace 9, ace 3, something like that. Alright, queen 3 we fold. Guess we call here with 2 overs. Have a flush draw. It's a good turn card. You definitely call again. Just gotta think for a second, then we'll check. It's a good result getting to see showdown. And win. Perfect. Once he checks back, we expect to have the best hand the whole bunch. Like 7's gonna value bet, obviously. So sometimes you run into like weak 2 pair there, like 5-6 or 5 or something. Even pocket 4s maybe. I wonder if I should up small blind into big blind. Probably not. People are overfolding it anyways. 2 seconds. The queen four suited, he just checks to us, so I think we're just gonna double barrel, so I'm gonna go small. Here we'll just check call. If he does call, we pick up some equity, barrel again. He checks back, so I think we'll just value bet here, especially with king of diamonds. We take that down. Down here with this hand, I think with backdoors all over, plus an overcard, we do a lot of checking here. I think with our hand, we can bet, block like 4-5, 3-4 suited, stuff like that. Okay, fold here, fold here, fold here, fold here. Bigger. The threes will fold. No action faces. And I think we'll just show down the ace queen suited. I'm just looking at a hand history here. King jack off. Sorry, I like all the king offsuit hands more so against the small blind. Alright. Raise here, fold here, fold here, fold here, fold here. King 3 fold. On the 5-4, we've got a gazillion players, so we're just gonna give up there. What happened on this king jack here? Not paying attention. Somehow I folded there. That's terrible. Check, that. Fold, terrible. Raise the 5-4 suited. Okay, Ace 9 suited. Alright, we're gonna focus in here. And try to grind back just a wee little bit. Once it checks around, we're just gonna overbet here. I think we're just getting our folds. And we're gonna 3-bet here. And the Jack 5 suited against a fish. I think we just go half or barrel, like anything that gives us equity, like that. Fold here, check here. Wow. So kind of ran into it here. GMFLU, yeah, we're just jamming this king suited and raising here. So we overbet and he clicks it back, which is pretty gross. Getting 3-1. Probably have to call this. It's only 30 bigs behind. I don't really know if this is a call or not. Whatever. I have no idea there. We're not getting direct odds, and with only 30 bigs behind, it's going to shove and fold again spot. Not really sure there. What the hell happened here? Oh, there's a straddly. Oh, yeah. Great. Guess we'll check the ace king here at a position. I think it's Papa Johnny. We're just going to call and then call the turn shove. Against half pot, we have to call there. And we're just going to check folding turn. If he keeps blasting. Diamonds will protect us a lot and give us free cards most of the time. So I think it's pretty straightforward there. What happened here? Was it here? No. Not sure what hand I was paying attention to there. But either way, I think we lost all of them. So. Raise the 9s. Fold the Jack 9. Raise the ace queen, fold the 9-7, fold the 8-5. And let's do another quick check. Keep the channel. And the stream updated on today. Yeah, we're down. We're on a bit of a comeback here. Raise the ace jack. Pocket 9s on this board against this guy. I think probably just bet. I think he's literally playing every hand, right? He's only 5 hands in. Here, this board, pretty dry. We just do a standard c-bet. We get called. And I think we bet again here. There's a bunch of hands that he's still going to call with. Club draws. Some like 6x type hands. Fold here. I think you're better off calling. Probably better off calling like 6x. Than maybe 7s, 8s. No, 7s and 8s beats a 6. I don't know, you just have more outs, right? And it's unlikely that I'm double barreling 7s or 8s once the queen rolls off. Oh my goodness, I hate the straddle options. I wish I could just auto turn straddle off. I think that's another option they should be definitely adding in here. It does slow the game down so much when you're like multi-tabling and you have to come over and like auto click like decline straddle, especially when like, you know, the re-straddle button is directly beside it. You misclick a whole bunch, etc. Okay, Jack 3 folding. E6 suited, I guess we'll just let go from here. King deuce we're definitely calling, 3-betting sometimes. Good flop. We're gonna check call at least once and then twice. Okay. I think this is actually bigger than I would expect it to on that board. And he's super mid. Interesting. So I think if he goes big again, we probably end up just letting it go. He does not. I guess we just block that. So he probably might, if we go really small, he might call an ace. But he's never going to bluff us, right? That's sort of the big takeaway there. And that is something we've been at the 1-2 games. Let's just see. So we're 3-bet the Jack 10 suited. We're definitely going to call the King 8 suited. Keep it small. 3-bet there. And we're going to fold King 10 suited. Ace 10 suited, we call. So he is going to be checking back a bunch of old cards here, I think, because we have a lot of 5, 6, 6, 7. I think I have a new line I can start trying out. I'm going to call here with the King 10. I think when he check raises there, he does have some Jack Queen. And he does, like, I just don't think he's bluffing. The 8 rolls off, makes 8s obviously less likely. Doesn't have, like, Jack's plus. Really comes down, and he probably doesn't have like Jack Queen all that often. If he shoves, we probably have to fold. I think we missed a bet here at 6-7. Too focused down here in the bottom right. Tank shove. What was that? I think because he tank shoved, I'm gonna fold. I think probably not gonna be bluffing here enough. Just did get ahead with ace 10. Yeah, I think we probably just have to fold here. It is tough against this guy. I don't know if he checks out the stream or not, so I won't say too much, but it's definitely closer to a call against him than most. And we're just going to probably just check shove here. I think he's going to have a hard time folding a queen, especially when we could have like diamond draws and straight draws. So I think the check shove's good there. And the reality is, if he is folding a queen, we should probably just be check shoving every single hand, right? So, okay, so fold, raise, and then he calls. Check. With that, he raises. Call. Could have 6-7. Could have Jack Queen off. Pocket 8s are obviously unlikely. Could have pocket 9s. Doesn't have pocket 10s. Doesn't have pocket jacks, queens, kings, or aces. So in this case, it kind of comes down to like, what are his value hands? And is he ever bluffing? It's possible too that he could have like ace, like, you know, whatever of hearts or something, or of clubs too. And we just defend here PS5. No club, which is not the best. Of course, there's an ace. just probably fold here. I'm going to call here, and I'm going to check here. And I will put in a value bet with the king here. Raise the ace-9. Alright, I'm going to check call river, even if he hits the 10, it just checks all the way down. It's being suited now. I feel like Ruby Joan watches this stream, to be honest. The 9-8 we fold small blind, fold some 5. King 6, I think we'll just go big here, even though we're out of position on this board. And we do hit 6, I think we're gonna bet again. I don't think there's too many aces in his like check calling range. Or like calling on the ring and calling. So it's just, yeah. So I think with this guy, I was always back and forth on him, but he's definitely too stationy. He likes to call. So I think he ends up with these big stacks every once in a while. You just like, eventually you're going to hit some hands and they'll stretch, right? So if you play long enough, you end up with kind of a big stack here or there. But I think in general, you know, it's just a little bit too. Okay. We are just sitting out for a minute, and then we will be back. Yeah, down a couple buy-ins today, whatever. We've been on such a tear, it has to happen. 3 days. I guess if you're gonna get sucked out on like that, it's good to have it against the short stack, right? So we're just sitting out. I'm gonna go grab something to eat, then we'll be right back. Raising ace queen. Guess we still have one more hand to play here. Not this time. Yes, here comes the karma. 10 ball. Told you. I told you. So you always run it twice, guys. Karma comes and gets you otherwise.